I would also like to acknowledge the traditional elders as well as any other religious leaders present here tonight. I don't have an up-to-date list of all of the very important guests who are assembled tonight, but I will go in broad categories. I would like to acknowledge the President of the Victorian Upper House, the Honourable Bruce Atkinson, a great friend of the multicultural communities, the Minister for Multicultural Affairs, Robin Scott, the Deputy Leader of the Government, James Molino, the Deputy Leader of the Liberal Party as well, accompanied by many members of Parliament on all sides of politics. So I would, because of the huge turnout of members of Parliament here today, I won't read out the whole list, but I would like you to just stand, just so that we can get a visual of the number of people who have come out to support this very important occasion at this very important time. Please stand, members of Parliament. In addition to that, we have justices, we have academics, we have a huge turnout of the diplomatic corps, which is great to see that support, and I get to see them quite often in the spirit of multiculturalism, and it's great to see their turnout tonight. Members of peak organisations, members of our public service, including the Ombudsman, the Acting Police Commissioner, accompanied by a number of members of VicPol, former MPs and Eddie Micallef and Jennifer Hubbard, who continue to serve their, the multicultural communities in their respective roles. It's great to see them here today. A range of academics, community leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and it's terrific to see such a turnout. I'm certainly delighted to have the opportunity of sharing tonight's co-hosting responsibilities with the AIS, as well as James Molino, the Deputy Premier and Minister for Education. Ahmed Kessin, you've done an extraordinary job as the Executive Director of the Australian Intercultural Society, accompanied by or supported by your committee, and some wonderful administrators who've certainly made the organisation of this easy. It is an important occasion at an important time, and so it's great that we can all come together as friends in support of our strong multicultural society, of course, especially during this time being the month of Ramadan. And I would like to take the opportunity of wishing all our Victorian Muslims a blessed and holy Ramadan on behalf of the Victorian Coalition, as well as, of course, on behalf of the leader of the Liberal National Coalition, the Honourable Matthew Guy, who I told you last year was the Minister for Multicultural Affairs, and sends his apologies for not being able to join us here tonight. The Ramadan message of compassion, generosity and humility can be appreciated by all of the different faiths and communities across Australia. And I think what it does do is it highlights that very important, very unique Victorian brand of multiculturalism, underpinned by a support by all the political parties, a support for the diversity, a support in the freedoms that are represented, that are enshrined in our Constitution, a belief that in Australia we are treated fairly. We certainly all strive to treat people fairly, that people are not treated on the basis of their religion, where they were born, the colour of their skin, or the language that they speak, but on the basis of their actions. And so it is a very precious formula of multiculturalism that we need to work hard to protect and to strengthen. What is most wonderful about tonight's event is that we see so many people from such a diverse range of faiths and cultures across the ranks of society. It is a welcome opportunity indeed for all Victorians to come together to experience the richness of our diverse faith communities, and in turn create a dialogue, foster respect, understanding and promote that social cohesion. And I feel very privileged to have the opportunity of serving the Victorian Coalition as the Shadow Minister for Multicultural Affairs. Just a little about my background. I migrated to Australia as a 10-year-old with my parents and my older brother, 4 suitcases, no money, no English, and I've had the greatest opportunity in this wonderful country, which opens its doors to so many people from all parts of the world to start a new life, because our own countries of birth were not the paradise that we wanted, and to do so and to actually have the opportunity of serving the Victorian Parliament for 19 years. Only such opportunities are made possible in this wonderful country of ours, Australia. In addition to that, we're on a Polish and German heritage on my father's side, a Balkans heritage on my mother's side. I was born under communism, grew up with Muslims, and I'm absolutely blessed to live in this wonderful democracy of ours. We are indeed fortunate to have all that we who have migrated to Australia seek, and that is the religious freedom, the freedom of speech, the freedom to practice our beliefs in a harmonious fashion and to do so without any adversity. That doesn't mean, of course, that we don't have responsibilities as community leaders when things do go wrong. The strongest voices are those that come from the community leaders of the affected communities. And let me commend the Islamic community in particular for opening its doors, for responding to some of the challenges that are currently facing us. And in particular, I'd like to cite just a handful of examples. James Molina already mentioned the International Festival of Language and Culture, which I also had the opportunity of attending, and congratulate Sirius College as well as the AIS on pulling together an absolute extravaganza. Certainly a definite contender for the Eurovision Prize. I was also honoured to have the opportunity of attending the Helen Mosque recently, an open day, where the local community was invited to hear from academics and from imams about the pillars of Islam. And they put on a lovely lunch, and there was a huge turnout of members of the community who really appreciated the fact that the Islamic community was reaching out, and they needed to do so. I was also blessed to have the opportunity to go along to the Bosnian Centre recently, which was opening a new facility, and to see the range of people who were invited along to celebrate that special day. But more importantly, to hear the wonderful messages from the imams and the religious leaders in attendance. I also attended recently an Ahmadi interfaith symposium in Langwarrin, where again a range of religious leaders were brought together, again advocating harmony, diversity, tolerance and respect across the religions. And again, I think all of these are incredibly positive responses to what are real concerns about issues experienced by our Islamic and broader community, and I'd like to commend and encourage them to continue down this track. The Victorian Coalition is proud to support that diversity, whether it's cultural, religious, ethnic or linguistic. We are certain, James spoke about the importance of sharing and being proud of our backgrounds, the stories and the traditions that he referred to, the cultures, religions and languages. And indeed, this is what makes us stronger, this is what makes us unique, and this is what we are here to share tonight. We're proud of our reputation, of course, for also being able to bring together all of those differences into a harmonious society so we can enjoy the benefits of our faith communities to make our society stronger. And it's thanks to events like this, this annual Iftar, and I think by the time Ramadan is over, we would have attended a number of Iftar dinners, that we can enjoy the relationships that promote cohesion and interfaith harmony across Victoria. As I said before, it also carries with it the responsibilities of indeed making sure that what we have worked hard to build through the commitment to multiculturalism is continued. And I certainly work very hard to promote the interfaith understanding and harmony that I am happy to support and align myself with the AIS in that regard. And of course they are doing so in following the teachings of their Islamic scholar, Peulich. The vision is to encourage dialogue, respect and tolerance, of course, in our community, and that is certainly the basis of our multicultural beliefs. I'd like to again thank the organisers and the AIS for their efforts in hosting another successful Iftar dinner. We've been doing this for a number of years. It is my very first one here today, although I've attended many Iftar dinners over the years involving other organisations. I hope everyone has a thoroughly enjoyable evening, and that for all of the Muslims here tonight, once again I'd like to take the opportunity of wishing you a very blessed and holy Ramadan. Enjoy the friendships you may have formed tonight for the first time, renew the old friendships, and let's each and every one of us commit to our community, our state and our nation and its future, which of course rests with enjoying and protecting the freedoms, the liberties, but of course carry with that also the responsibilities which come from living in our multicultural society. And indeed, coming together as we are doing here tonight is an expression of the view of the community, and that is we must try and define ourselves by what we stand for, not allow the media to define us by the negatives that are perpetuated through some fairly sensational reporting. So everyone's putting their best foot forward because it's a country, it's a philosophy, it's a society we believe, and our future rests on making sure that it continues to be a great success. Ramadan Kareem to everyone. Thank you.